Good morning. It's turned out nice again. What the fuck's going on here? Don't worry, I'm not on fire. Actually, has it turned out nice again? Yeah, it has really. It's a little bit cloudy, but it's early in the morning. How are you doing, guys? You alright? Well, I think it's Monday. It's Monday, isn't it? No, it's not. It's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I don't even know what day of the week it is. Every day's the same to me, to be honest with you. So, what have I got to say to you? Hey, this is a long shot. If you're going to be in New York City on October 16th, so am I. I'm going to my most favouriteest pub in the whole world on October the 16th. I had a bad week last week and I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to go and see my mate. So I'm going to Murika. And on the 16th of October, all being well, I'll be in New York City. So if you fancy a few sherbets, let me know. Now, no, you can't come and stay in my house while I'm away, which is what people tend to say to me that know me. You know, me and the missus could come up. No, I've already got someone here. Every time I go away, I always leave someone in my house. I don't leave my house on my own. There's hard drives in this house. I'd never want to fall into the hands of anyone. You know what I'm saying, guys? So, what we're talking about? Well, I'm going to go through an article with you by our friend James Pearce, and I haven't read it yet. All right, so we're going to have a look at this together. And the reason why is I saw this post by him with the article, the link, which is about Fabinho, and it says the title of the article is "Fabinho exit is a curveball for Liverpool, but it makes perfect sense," which it probably does. I'm sorry, I've just got up, so if I've got a load of shite in my eyes, that's why I haven't been up very long. And the little bit of text is put with the article that is shared. It says, Fabinho's exit provides opportunity as well as disruption for Liverpool. It's a decent fee for a player, which it is, who gave the club his peak years. Having to fast-track the pursuit of his successor could prove to be a blessing in disguise. Now, that's the bit that made me go, oh, here we go already. But you know what I mean? Like, a blessing in disguise. So it could be a blessing in disguise, fast-tracking his successor. It could also be a fucking disaster, couldn't it, guys? You know what I'm saying? Let's have a look. It's very hot in here. Whew. Happy Yorkshire Day as well to those of you from Yorkshire. All right. A year ago, the prospect of losing Fabinho would have filled most Liverpool supporters with a sense of dread. It fucking still does when you look at the current squad. You know what I mean? Like, squeaky bum time. I mean, we're going to see some activity. So Larby is going to come in, that's going to happen. But who else? So we're not going to read it, blah, 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 all of it, you know what I mean? Jurgen Klopp described Fabinho as one of the best holding midfielders in the world, and there were few dissenting voices. He blossomed after overcoming a difficult start to life in England. Now, let's fast forward. Yet, just 12 months later, those ties have been cut after he completed a £40 million move to Al Ittihad, the riches of the Saudi Pro League, convincing him to turn his back on elite football at the age of 29. Blah, blah, blah. Klopp didn't want to lose an experienced senior player who had still had 3 years left on his contract, but sanctioned his departure once the club's asking price was met. Like Jurgen had a fucking say in it. That always makes me laugh. That some of you might think that he does, you know what I mean? But it's like your boss saying to you, isn't it? Yeah, if you can do what you want. With your office. In your office, you can do what you want, Dave. You know what I'm saying? Do you like working here, Dave? Nah, you know what I mean? It's just like, I think the manager's put in an impossible situation sometimes. You know, especially if a player wants to leave, you know, and get all that coin and that. Right. It's not just obesity that's making me sweat, guys. It's absolutely roasting here. And there's no aircon in the kitchen, obviously. Right, Fabinho's exit provides an opportunity as well as disruption for Liverpool. But prior to that paragraph, he said there's a void that needs to be urgently filled. It's a specialist role, and the timing isn't ideal with less than a fortnight to go until the Premier League opener against Chelsea. There's no escaping the fact that the ex-Monaco midfielder was a shadow of his former self last season. Yeah, but it's better than having fucking no one stood there, isn't it? Yes, he wasn't helped by the team's alarming deficiencies, but he was no longer the commanding presence Liverpool had come to rely on. James, we've accepted it. He's gone. Right? He's accepted it. previously so good at putting out fires, they instead started to rage all around him. It's a bit harsh, isn't it? He looked leaden-footed, like the relentless intensity of previous campaigns had taken their toll. He's like this, isn't he? He's like sticking knifing on him, isn't he? His confidence took a battering, as at one stage he lost his place in the... Oh, hang on, anyway. He's going on, he's throwing loads of stats in here, and basically saying how it was, you know, like, justified to get rid of him. I actually haven't, you know, like... You know, the money we got for him at that stage, you know, at that age or whatever, fine, you know, if he's got to go. But for me, it's who replaces. Like, I don't need to be told about, you know, what his performances were like and his form was like, or whether he declined a little bit, whether he had an off season or anything. Fabinho is a fucking great player, right? So I want him replacing with a great player. Now, Romeo Lavia is a fantastic player, as Brendan Rodgers would say, but I was always under the impression that we would go for him and he would be understudy. Now it sounds like he's, you know, in at the deep end, and that does concern me, guys, at the moment. But maybe we'll see something change. I just don't know where this is going to happen. We obviously know that there's going to be additional midfield, you know, additional transfers, you know, fucking hell, additional players to come in. But, you know, you look at the date now, I mean, I don't even know what date it is. Well, it's the 1st of August. Yeah, there you go. I don't know, it's just like... they seem to be leaving it a bit late, too late for my liking. Squad's a joke as it is at the minute. I honestly thought we'd go into this season, summer window, and sign at least 5 players off at the off. Do you know what I mean? Guess I was being an idiot. Klopp saw enough of an improvement during the run-in after Trent Alexander-Arnold was moved into a hybrid role, operating alongside the Brazilian when Liverpool were in possession, to decide he was going to stick with Fabinho. Signing 2 advanced midfielders was the club's priority, recruited at a combined cost of £95 million. Ooh, lucky us. Following the departures of Milner, Henderson, Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Liverpool had been assessing the merits of potential long-term successors for Fabinho, but there were no guarantees they would sign one this summer. Now it's the priority. Southampton's Romeo Lavia is top of the list as talks to secure the services of the Belgium international continue. The transfer kitty has been boosted by the kind of fee Liverpool looks highly unlikely to generate from sales this summer. Make no mistake, 40 million for Fabinho represents excellent business. There's little chance a European club would have offered close to that to him. Not after. It's like he's trying to convince us. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's trying to convince us that you know what James Pearce's style is, right? If you're watching James, you're right. Yeah, I'm not digging at you. I'm just saying this is what you're like. You know, like this article like opens with, I don't know. We'll have to go back to where it opens with. I can't remember the little bit of text, but that's what made me read it. Like it could be a blessing in disguise. Whereas you would never expect James Pearce to say, this could be a fucking disaster waiting to happen, which is what some of us are thinking, all right? You know, you might say, let's just wait and see. Well, then I would argue, let's just wait and see before I say it could be a blessing in disguise, all right? It's just predictable. It's just predictable. There's little chance a European club would have offered close to that for him, not after his influence waned so drastically last season. I tell you what, I'd rather have him in the fucking squad than not in the squad, that is for sure. Making him sound like he's a shite player. Then he goes on about how Liverpool have got the money back for him, blah, blah, blah. The fact he's opted to go to Saudi at this stage of his career suggests he may even have had doubts himself, you know, about whether or not he could have got back to his best game. He's one player that, you know, like, you know, Henderson leaving doesn't bother me at all, to be honest with you. Fabinho leaving does. He actually, genuinely does. I think he's quality, as Rafa would say, quality. Right, okay. And he's talking about too often players have been allowed to run down their contracts. Fabinho himself was bought as a replacement for Emre Can, who stayed put until his deal at Anfield ran out. In some of these cases, Liverpool simply weren't ruthless enough. Blah, blah, blah. We're not interested in that. The danger is that a sense of loyalty clouds judgment. Look, he's gone. We've accepted it. This was a deal driven by the player. Oh, it's all his fault. All right, yeah, okay. Probably is, but yeah, let's emphasise it. But a parting of ways may well prove beneficial for all parties. Yeah, and it could be a fucking disaster if we only sign Romeo Lavia and he doesn't settle straight away. Talk about pressure. His name will forever be associated with with the first trophy-winning machine Klopp assembled. It was a vital cog, but times have changed. Fuck off, James. Liverpool may have had to reshape their summer plans, but having to fast-track their search for a new number 6 could prove to be a blessing in disguise. Oh, dear me. Why did none of these journalists in the clique ever say at the end, like, total panic, like, it could be a fucking disaster? Oh, my days. It's so funny. I don't know. I just feel like it started already, the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Nice cup of Yorkshire tea biscuit brew on Yorkshire Day. Yeah. Ooh, I've got a message. Who's messaging me at this time? Oh, yeah, all right. Okay, so if you listen, if you want to stay in touch with me, because I got banned from Twitter for sticking up for the mother. If you want to stay in touch with me, you know, if you followed me on Twitter and you missed my tweets, you know what I mean, just go to www.duncanoldham.com, and then there's a link on there where you can follow me. Because I'm on, if you've got Telegram, just download it. I'm in there every day. I put a nice little picture of Remy out yesterday. Do you want to see him? Do you want to see Remy from yesterday? It's a great picture. I think it's fantastic. There's Render and Rodgers fucking had it sort in here. Right, let's have a look. Look! There's my little Remy. Can you see him? Yeah, look at that. He looks beautiful, doesn't he? Yeah. And then, as well, look. My grandson, Harry, do you see him there? Look, there, look. He's celebrating a goal. He's on target. Good son. Do you want to play number 6 at Liverpool? And then, I went to see Jamie Gilmore the other day. Some of you know Jamie Gilmore. Yeah, I'm gonna mention that in another video. Jamie Gilmore there with the shades on. I've got my arm around him on that other side, look. And he was out here with the boys. Oh, what a great set of lads they were. They are lovely lads. So, that's about it really. The Saudi draw for the Saudi Pro League is no more entries now. I'll deal with that in the next couple of days. Is there anything else I need to tell you? Well, if you like the video, please thumbs up. Please comment. The comments are really important to me. And if you really love the video and you really love me, hit the love heart. Definitely do that. And if you really love me, like you want to go to bed with me, become a Cop Talk VIP member. Everything's in the video description, guys. You know what I mean? Just think, when you become a Cop Talk VIP member, you're putting food in my fridge. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you need to cut back on the food. I know, but I've had a, stressful couple of years, all right? Right. My worry is that after the transfer window closes, that we're going to have fucking nothing to talk about. But then again, we've not had much to talk about while it's been open. But it's going to kick off, innit, guys? It's going to kick off soon, right? It has to. It has to. Something has to happen. Boy George, what's he up to, that fucker? You know, I got banned from Twitter. I went through the entire Twitter terms of service regarding violent speech last night, and I didn't break any rules. Because my tweet said, right, so my tweet, right, was about a mum that was stuck in a traffic jam with a sick young child in her car, and them Just Stop Oil tramps were blocking her. And she got out of the car and said, can you please let me through? I'm going to hospital. My child needs to go to hospital. It's an emergency kind of thing. Like, can you let me through? And they wouldn't let her through. And I just tweeted, like, well, if I'd have been there, I'd have got her through. You know what I mean? Regardless of the consequences, I would have got that mother through. I would. You know, and I explained to Twitter, I said, oh, no, what I meant by regardless of the consequences was if they might have assaulted me while I was trying to help this mother, but the Twitter didn't believe me. Fucking Twitter. Do you know what, guys? I'm not even joking. I've still got, at Cop Talk TV, at Cop Talk members, at Dunk Knows Best. I've still got all those accounts, but do you know what? I've enjoyed not being on there. I went on it yesterday and this morning, to look at some of the Liverpool stuff. It's fucking garbage. It's got worse on there, and it's going to get worse with revenue sharing. I think I mentioned it. Might have mentioned it yesterday, but Twitter are going to allow accounts to generate revenue from the amount of interaction on their tweets, which basically means the more replies to a tweet an account holder gets, the more money they make. Whether they're nice, like, you know, you're talking shit or comments, or whether they're like, oh, I agree, whatever. So what you're going to see is the big accounts, yeah, or even the small accounts, whatever. If a big account, let's just say says, you know, I can make £5 every time I tweet. What are they going to do when, you know, when this takes off? Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, they can't, you know what I mean? So if you use Twitter, right, even just for your own interests or whatever, and every time you put a tweet out, you made £1. Just you, £1. Are you going to put one tweet out a day? Or fucking hundreds? Do you get my point? Yeah? So, and this is what they're going to do. So Twitter's going to get worse, guys, I'm telling you. So, and I don't know what the alternative to that is at the moment. Threads. I can't use Threads because Threads is banned in Europe. Can you believe that? I can't use it with a VPN either. Right, I'm off. I better go and do some work. I've got my fish ready for later. All right, you know I like my fish, don't you? That's as exciting as it's going to get round here today, I think. Right, guys, I'll speak to you later. Please, thumbs up, comment, hit the love out button, and we'll speak later. Hopefully we'll have something to talk about later in the day. What do you think about that article? I mean, like, it's very, like, trying to convince you that, oh, the club has done the right thing, yeah? The club has done the right... But I would rather have kept Fabinho, but if the player wants to go, and, you know, that's up to him, fine. You know, talking about a player at the best of the game at his age, suggesting that he was finished, you know, is nonsense, in my opinion. Would you rather have had him in the squad next season or not at all? You know, and I was going to say we all, but I want Romeo Lavia to come in. Those of you that speak to me quite a bit ask me, you know, who would I really like to see? I've always said Romeo Lavia, you know, since he became a genuine option for us. But I thought it was going to be as an understudy. Are they really going to go and sign him and someone else? Possibly. There was a video, I think I did a video on here yesterday for the channel members, channel supporters and that, which touched on, I got an update at the weekend, I think it was Sunday night. It's not highly exciting, but there are options still in there. It's just like, you would imagine that Liverpool would sign more than one midfielder, right? But there's just that part of me now that's thinking, what if the don't? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so when I was out with Jamie Gilmore the other day, JB motherfucking Gilmore as I called him, we actually watched the pre-season friendly that was on the other day. You know, and I don't usually watch pre-season friendlies because the training matches, you know what I mean? But it made me feel like I was really looking forward to the season, you know, and I said to Jamie and the boys, you know, I was talking about the Community Shield, or Charity Shield as we used to call it, and, you know, some people don't have much interest in that, but I do. Like, that's my, like, when the Community Shield is on, right, I guarantee, like, that'll be it. Like, I'm back in my routine. It'll be like, right, I want something to eat at half time, you know what I mean? Maybe a beer, I don't know. But to me, it's like the start of the season. And some people, like modern fans, are like, oh, it's the Community Shield, who wants to watch that? It's not exactly the European Cup final. But to me, it signifies the football's back after I've waited all summer without. Do you know what I mean? So I can't wait for the Charity Shield, Community Shield, whatever it's called. I can't wait for it. You know, and then the real football's back. But I just hope that we see some significant squad rebuilding before then. God knows what's going to happen. It's getting a bit squeaky bum. But I have faith in Boy George. I have faith in Boy George. All right, guys. I'll speak to you later. Don't forget to hit that love heart. I'm saying.